Welcome to Daily English Listening Stories. Learn English through stories. Ready to level up your English? Here, we learn through stories. Slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey. Welcome to our journey, Nepal on Fire. What is happening? Introduction. When you think of Nepal, what comes to your mind? Is it the roof of the world, the great Mount Everest? Or is it the land of spirituality, where the Buddha was born, with old monasteries and peaceful air? For many decades, Nepal has been a symbol of peace, a dream destination for people searching for calm. But today, these images are mixed with another reality, a Nepal burning with anger, a Nepal where the young generation, Generation Z, is on the streets, standing face to face with the government. They call this movement the Gen Z protest. So what is really happening in the small country between two giants, China and India? Why did a social media ban grow into a huge political crisis? This is not only about TikTok or Facebook. This is the story of a time bomb in society, built up for many years, and now it has exploded. Today, we will look deeper into this crisis to understand the roots of the anger and the possible future for Nepal. The social media ban. Everything started with a shocking decision from the government. In the name of maintaining social harmony and controlling harmful content, the government of Nepal, under Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, created new rules. Big tech companies like Meta, the parent company of Facebook, and Google, the parent company of YouTube, had to register officially as business entities in Nepal and follow local law. Before these companies could finish the process, the government took a strong step. It blocked access to many social media platforms. For the authorities, this may have been an administrative measure, but for millions of young Nepalese, it was like a declaration of war. In a country with few job opportunities, social media is not only for fun, it is a place to express themselves freely, to connect with the world, to run small businesses, and to survive day by day. Most importantly, it is the only forum where they could criticize the government without heavy censorship. Closing this door was like silencing an entire generation. The ban on social media was the spark, but it fell into a barrel full of old frustrations. The hidden anger. To understand why young Nepalese are so angry, we need to look at three deep problems inside the society. First, corruption and nepotism. The phrase "Nepo kids" has become a symbol of frustration. Young people see the sons and daughters of political elites easily getting top jobs, rich contracts, and luxury lives without effort. Meanwhile, millions of university graduates face a dark future. This injustice is not hidden. It is shown openly on social media. For young people struggling every day, it feels like a slap in the face. Second, the collapse of economic opportunities. Nepal is facing a serious brain drain. Every day, thousands of young people leave their country to work in the Gulf states, Malaysia, or South Korea, often doing hard labor. They do not want to go, but they have no choice. The economy depends heavily on tourism and remittances. After the pandemic, these sources became weak, and political instability made things worse. Inflation is high, prices are rising, and the gap between rich and poor is growing. For Gen Z, the dream of a better life in their homeland is fading. Third, fear of censorship. Along with the social media ban, the government also pushed new laws to control online content. While officials said this was to stop fake news and protect culture, many saw it as a tool to silence dissent. Gen Z feels that not only their economic future, but their basic freedom of speech is under attack. Corruption, injustice, unemployment, and censorship, these four problems together created a perfect storm. The social media ban was just the final drop. The crisis unfolds. Stage 1. Peaceful protest. At first, the protests were peaceful. Young people marched, sang patriotic songs, and used creativity to send their message. They wanted to show they were educated citizens who cared about their country's future. Stage 2. Violence escalates. But when protests spread to big cities like Pokhara and Biratnar, the government lost patience. Police were ordered to clear the crowds at all costs. Tear gas, water cannons, batons, even rubber bullets were used. Peaceful protests turned into violent clashes. Streets became battlegrounds. Stage 3. Blood and concessions. Then tragedy came. Real gunshots were fired. According to international news, at least 19 people were killed and hundreds injured. This was a red line. Pressure from inside the country and from the international community became too strong. The government had to retreat. The social media ban was lifted. This was a victory for the protesters, but a bloody one, and it did not solve the deeper problems that pushed them to the streets. The fire may have calmed, but the embers are still burning. Painful consequences and deep cracks. After the storm, Nepal is left with heavy scars. For the people, there are lives lost, families broken, and psychological wounds that will last long. Daily life was disturbed, the economy slowed, and fear entered society. For the government, it was a serious blow to its image. They failed in policy and are now seen worldwide as repressive. Demands for investigations into police violence and calls for reform are growing. Even cabinet changes or resignations may happen. For Nepalese society, a generation gap has opened wider than ever before. On one side is the young generation demanding change, transparency, and justice. On the other side is an old political system, seen as corrupt and disconnected. Trust in political institutions has been deeply shaken. Internationally, Nepal's peaceful image has been damaged. Tourism, the backbone of the economy, is at risk. Foreign investors are cautious. Relations with big tech companies are now tense. Lessons from the roof of the world. Nepal's story is not unique. It carries global lessons, especially in the digital age. First lesson: the power of Gen Z. They grew up with the internet, are skilled with technology, and want to be heard. They may not hold traditional political power, but they can connect and spread messages faster than any generation before. Ignoring them is a dangerous mistake. Second lesson: the danger of controlling information in an unequal society. When official dialogue channels are blocked by corruption and distrust, the internet becomes the last safety valve. Closing that valve without fixing the inner pressure only leads to a bigger explosion. Final lesson: governments must listen. Problems like unemployment, inequality, and corruption cannot be hidden with censorship or repression. They must be solved with real reforms, transparency, and accountability. If not, anger will only grow and wait for the next spark. What future for Nepal? Today, curfews are in place in many areas. The army is on the streets. The social media ban is lifted, but tension remains. What happened in Nepal is not only a protest against an internet ban. It is the cry of a generation left behind. It is resistance against a system they see as rotten. The government's concession is only the beginning. Now they face strong pressure to make real reforms, fight corruption, create jobs, and build transparent governance. The world is watching Nepal. Will the leaders truly listen and change to meet the hopes of the young generation, or is this only a pause before an even bigger storm? The future of this country, on the roof of the world, depends on these answers. Thank you for listening. What do you think about the role of Gen Z in today's political and social changes? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this video helped your English learning, please like, share, and subscribe for more lessons with interesting topics. Thank you, and see you in the next video.